Plus they have another month of natural immunity.
So that's not, he said she do. That helps.
You got it? You got it?
Commissioners, did you see the note that I left on the top of the bills?
You're,
I don't think they heard you.
Mayor want to know if you saw the note on top of the bills.
Yes, John. I will be texting Lenny shortly. of
No,
your-
no, no.
Have to have a little fun, right?
Paper towels.
A quicker picker upper. You're dating yourself, you know. That
I know,
advertisement was
probably-
years ago.
Probably not everyone catches that. But I knew you would, Joe.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, I think we have everyone, so. This meeting of the Board of Public Works is called to order. We have both commissioners live in person. I am zooming in today. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
motion.
Motion.
Motion by Jared, second by Joe. Any questions on the minutes?
No.
All in favor?
All right.
All ayes. We'll also accept a motion to approve the reports.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Joe, second by Jared. Any questions?
No.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All ayes. We do have one resolution, and that is to appoint Ashley Weekland as a provisional assistant public works superintendent. Missy, you can go ahead and read the resolution if you'd like.
Resolved that the Board of Public Works provisionally appoints Ashley R. Weekland to the position of Assistant Public Works Superintendent. This appointment shall take effect on April 1st, 2021.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Joe, second by Jared. So this has been a vacant position that we've had for a number of years. And, you know, with Mitch tentatively, and I use the word tentatively, planning on retiring in the sometime in the coming future, you know, this is kind of getting our ducks in a row. Ashley has been doing a lot, working a lot under Mitch, learning the ropes over the years, you know, and really doing a lot more than her job title, you know, states. So she's been kind of working above and beyond over the years, and, you know, and she'll continue to do so. But you know, it's time to fill this position and, you know, start, you know, not trying to push Mitch out the door by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, kind of getting our ducks in a row. Get your hand down, Mitch. I can see you.
That was a push, Mayor. That was a push.
Oh, that was a put. That's what it was. Okay. All right. So, but no, you know, it's long past time, and honestly, it's probably something we should have done, you know, some time ago. You know, Ashley's a high valued employee. We want to keep her around and continue her growth into this new position and beyond at some point in time. So I would urge the commissioners to vote in the affirmative on this one.
They did.
Anyone have any questions? If you do, Ashley's right there in front of you.
I think we've talked about this before, so.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. This has been in the works for a little while, so.
Yep.
So then they'll have to, she'll have to take a test at some point. We've already talked to civil service, so that's in the works. So whenever that comes out, go ahead and do that, so. Okay, well, we have the motions, and no one has any other questions, we'll call the roll. So, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All ayes. All right, congratulations, Ashley.
Thank you.
That's the only
Congratulations.
resolution we have.
First round of drinks. You.
Ooh,
Friday.
ooh.
So, all right, well, we do have claims, Missy.
Resolved that claims in the amount of $1,006,649.17 be approved and paid as audited.
Is there a motion to approve?
Yeah, yes, I'll try. I motion to approve.
I have a second.
Second by Jared. All right, any questions on that? Well, a lot of that is capital improvements. That's not Ashley's new salary, by the way, so don't get excited.
Woo, dang.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All ayes. Okay. We'll do a quick round table. Rich Dunning, we'll start with you.
Mayor, as you know, we received notice from the DEC that they have a new draft permit modification for our Speedies permit, and we've scheduled a March 30th teleconference with the DEC to discuss new items in there. And I took a moment with Matt Higgins to talk about potential subjects that might come up during that meeting, and we feel it's possible that there may be some new requirements for nutrient removal in the Chesapeake Bay TMDL. So we'll wait and see what they have to say. Other topics will deal with the newly rediscovered effluent bypass on our line. We feel like the DEC will probably require us to put some kind of flow measuring device in there to detect the flow if it ever does go through there, and to quantify how many gallons go through on how many days a year. They may ask us to beef up our industrial monitoring program for industries deemed categorical industries, including HB Hood, St. James Mercy Hospital, and Stern & Stern. And as you know, we've applied for a grant to do some of this work. We hope that we're approved for that grant. And then the Water Division is responsible for permitting us, and the permit division, but they may want to discuss the rising sludge volume at the sewage plant and task us with discovering what is the source of the increased solids. Is it due to our flocculation of phosphorus with aluminum sulfate? Is it the result of increased septic loading into the plant from septic haulers? And those are the kinds of things that they might be interested in talking to us about, but we'll see for sure on March 30th.
Okay, thank you for that report, Rich. Rich, where are we currently with sludge? I know we went through that process with the belt press and removed a lot, took it to the landfill, but where are we now? Has it been creeping up again? Are we?
No, we're
pretty
in pretty
comfortable
good
with the
shape.
levels?
We shut off all septic haulers to our plant, and not a week goes by that septic haulers don't call me up and ask me when are we going to relent and allow septic loads back into the plant. And I don't have a good answer for them. I know that you and I discussed the amount of revenue that was brought in with septic loads, and balance that with the cost of that belt press project last December and January. And it's not a process we want to repeat. So we're going to take some time and consider whether we'll allow septic loads again to the plant. I forwarded a new record of compliance document to Amy, and you signed that yesterday. That's one of the final steps before the materials management division at the DEC will issue us a new permit. We're hoping that they will increase our limit from 150 tons up to 500 tons per year. And that will go a long way to alleviating any future problems that we have. With that increased load, we will have a lot more reporting requirements, but that's something that we'll be able to handle, I think.
Rich, once that new Speedies permit is issued, when, well, I guess two questions. One, do you expect it to be issued, and when would it take effect? Is it in effect as soon as it's issued, or is there a lag time?
when an updated version is issued, that is your date of issuance, and you have to proceed with that. In that Speedy's permit, as you know, the last time we received a schedule for implementing the ultraviolet disinfection system. And so if they have milestones for us to meet as far as the Chesapeake Bay goes, they'll give us a schedule to comply, much like the UV. We're just now getting ready to go into the construction mode, and we'll have a facility that's ready to go next year in May 2022. So the last permit came out 2017. We're finishing up the requirements in that permit, and we'll have a schedule going forward for any work that they want us to accomplish going forward. And I'm thinking in terms of the Chesapeake Bay. Pradeep Jangbari called me a month ago and asked me about a problem with the collection system. And Pradeep is a long tenured engineer with the Water Division in Region 8. And I referred him to Mitch, and Mitch and he talked about the problem with the collection system. And then when they hung up, well, I'll let you tell the rest of the story, Mitch.
Oh, well, when I had the conversation with Pradeep, he asked me if we were having any problems getting our new permit to supply the 500 ton per year into the field. And if we have any problems, to reach out to him, and he would see if he could make that go a little faster for us. So, I mean, we're hoping for this spring for that. And he was very on board with it. He also stated that Chesapeake Bay was going to rear its ugly head again, and the EPA will probably shove that down our throats here in the next 2 years, which, talking to Rich, that'll be probably having a new settling basin. And would you think, Rich, was that new settling basin?
Our nutrients of concern are phosphorus and nitrogen. And we do a great job of removing the phosphorus by just putting 180 gallons of aluminum sulfate into the system every day. And that takes our phosphorus problem from 5 milligrams per liter down to 1 milligram per liter every day. And that's how we treat it. And now in this next phase of the Chesapeake Bay nutrient removal, they may require us to take that 1 milligram per liter down to a 0.5 milligrams. This is a little more difficult, and it would require us to change flocculants to something that's called PAC. It's polyaluminum chloride, related to aluminum sulfate, but it does a more efficient job of grabbing the phosphorus and flocculating it out. Total nitrogen. Mayor, you remember a meeting that we had with the DEC about 3 or 4 years ago, where we went to Bath and we sat down in headquarters, and they explained
Yes.
to us that there would be no further Chesapeake Bay requirements imposed on people in this area. They came out and said, you don't have to worry about it. The sub-bubble permit between Canisteo and Hornell would be erased, and going forward, there'd be no further requirements. And I don't know if the commissioners have seen the recent articles in the Tribune from the Gannett Service regarding the Chesapeake Bay. Out of the blue, they started talking about the egregious waste that New York State and Pennsylvania especially have been pouring into the Chesapeake Bay. And they talk about the Susquehanna River. And so this is something that I told you about Pradeep talking to Mitch about this, because I haven't had any other input from the DEC saying this is coming down the pike to us. It's just like, I think that they may have some surprising notifications for us in that March 30 meeting. And I just wanted to warn you.
I think what was true at that meeting might not be true today. But that was a few
That's what I'm
years
saying.
ago that we drove over there.
And it's not the DEC, they have to take, they take their cue from the feds, from the EPA.
Yes,
And,
there's definitely been a sea change with the the transition from the old administration to this administration.
Yes.
And
I would
they-
agree.
I think some of the, maybe some of the regs have been relaxed with the prior administration with the new president and his administration. I think they're probably going to be a little more onerous and costly and expensive.
Yes, and he has a house on the Delaware on the Chesapeake Bay, I believe.
Yeah.
The new president does.
All the senators' sailboats and yachts are parked in the Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
So this is important to
Them.
them. That problem is hundreds and hundreds of miles away from us. There's only one plant that is further away from the Chesapeake Bay than us, and that is Alfred Village's plant. And they will also be subject to any new, more stringent requirements. The reason I mentioned the total nitrogen is that that's not an easy fix. This is going to require additional concrete tanks be put in the ground to extend the aeration timing on the treatment for the nutrients. That's just how it's treated. You extend the life of the bacteria in the system, and then they're able to strip the ammonia and nitrogen out and turn it into nitrogen gas, thereby removing it from the Chesapeake Bay.
Some more aerators too, would aeration?
The aerators are going to be sufficient in volume of air delivered, but they would require us to create an anoxic zone. So you stop the air to one of the four basins.
Okay,
All of the flow goes through that basin, and with the biochemical reaction, the bacteria, in order to not starve for oxygen, must strip that O2 out of the nitrogen compound.
okay.
And that's what converts nitrite to nitrate to nitrogen gas.
Okay, and then that airs off someplace else up to the atmosphere.
Yeah. It goes off to the atmosphere,
Okay,
and that's okay
yeah, for now.
for now.
True,
They-
true stuff.
they
Hey,
made us
Rich,
put- Yes, Your Honor.
looking into your crystal ball, kind of foreseeing some of the things that you think that we're going to have to do down the road. What's the ballpark cost associated with any of it?
I couldn't.
Or don't you know?
For nitrogen, I couldn't even guess, Your Honor. So with this new liberal administration, maybe we'll get an infrastructure project. They're making noise in Washington like they're going to finally fund infrastructure.
Roads and bridges.
Yeah, I was on a Zoom call with Senator Schumer and NICOM officials was it 2 days ago, and the senator indicated that the stimulus package was the first first priority. The second large priority of the administration and the Congress is to do infrastructure. So what that means is does it include wastewater? I don't know. He didn't get into any specifics or details, but he did indicate that was the second big thing coming down the pike. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what that includes. If it's roads, bridges, airports, water, wastewater. Hopefully, the last thing we want are those two dreaded words, unfunded mandate. So hopefully they'll have some money, turning down when these things come to fruition. So, all right, Mitch, you're up.
Streets, Ashley and Rob have been out looking at streets for paving this summer. We've got a list on the board. I'm waiting to get some prices in on that, see how our CHIPS funding comes in this year.
Funny, I've been doing the same thing. I've been making a list too.
Oh, yay. Well, get that to us, will ya? Get that to us. We've started a little sidewalk program on the side of City Hall. As you noticed, we had to tear the sidewalk that was uneven out there, and we had someone fall on it last year. So we replaced the sidewalk on the side of City Hall out here to get rid of that trip hazard. We've got a couple of people that want sidewalks on our sidewalk program for the city. We're hauling gravel today because of the rain. Hopefully there's no more snow. First day of spring is on Saturday, so we're getting the street sweeper ready for its inaugural 2021 run. Hopefully next week sometime we'll have it out during the day. Street sweeper will be out. Bid processing for the Canasteo Street Bridge is out right now. It's in the contract reporter. April 6th, I believe, we'll be opening bids for the Canasteo Street Bridge. What else have we been doing, Ash? Anything? That's about
Pre-bid meeting for the sewer.
pre-bid meeting for the sewer on the 24th. Anybody that wants to, come and ask questions. The second round of lining from last year, we had some money left over that. That's pretty much it. The street department's right there, Mayor. Cleaning up the parks a little bit. Lenny couldn't be with us today. They're installing his new chlorine injection system up there today. So he's a little frazzled about that. So I think he was using a few extra paper towels in that room. Because of what he had going on up there. I wouldn't email him or text him on that, but he had his excuses because of the new chlorine system that's going in. That's some of the chlorine.
Okay. Well, dude, as I was saying yesterday, if we, switched over to the store brand, we could probably fund some of these projects in cash, right?
Yeah, right.
You have to use more paper towels.
Always like to pick on them about the bounty.
Yes, yeah. Give them another month and it'll be okay.
There we go.
We've talked about street striping, Main Street and Seneca Street. That needs it this year. The striping on the streets are just about non-existent right now. So we've got to call in. Next week, we'll have some estimates on that, see how that goes.
Striping, crosswalks, all
Yes,
the way down through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Main Street and downtown should really have to get that done. It should really pop. We partnered with Hornell Partners for Growth, and we're getting, I think, 20 or so new planners that we're going to have down through the Main Street and Seneca and the business district. So that'll really enhance downtown this summer as well.
Yes, sir.
Got Billy Hogan working on that.
Yep.
So, okay. All right, anything else? Commissioners?
No.
Commissioners report.
The citizens
Next
of
one.
Hornell are happy.
Happy time. Okay. Chris Potter, do you have any questions?
I think I'm all good. Thanks.
Okay. Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Jared, second by Joe. Any questions? We are adjourned. Congratulations, Ashley.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.